All right, guys, welcome back. Another Marlins reaction here. We're going to be reacting to the opening day lineup, the 30-man roster that came out today. It's your boy Ethan Budowsky. What's going on? Excited to have baseball back, maybe. Just saw the Juan Soto news, so who knows what's going to happen. The Marlins could possibly have exposure, cross exposure, because I believe Soto played the Phillies in an exhibition as an asymptomatic carrier, we think. And so the Phillies may have positive tests and the Marlins may have positive tests as a result. We may be on the verge of an outbreak here, but nonetheless, let's hope not, first of all. And we hopefully the Nationals have no other positive tests. Hopefully the Phillies have no positive tests. We should know before the Marlins play tomorrow. I believe tests are supposed to come back tomorrow, so we'll find out. But certainly everybody in the MLB is on edge right now. But we expect to play baseball tonight. We expect to play baseball tomorrow. And because of that, we have to do stuff like this. We got to keep chugging forward and keep, obviously, the situation in mind. But because we got to keep chugging, I guess we're going to talk about the Marlins lineup today. The Marlins roster today. Won't be talking about lineups until tomorrow. But anyway, the 30-man roster came out, and there are some big surprises. I think the biggest surprise of all is that Jordan Holloway made the roster. Jordan Holloway is a Marlins top 30 prospect. He played in Jupiter last year. He pitched in Jupiter. He's got a big arm. He throws really hard with some off-speed stuff. He doesn't have the best control. Let's just say that there. It was up and down at times for Holloway last year, but this was going to be a make or break year for Holloway anyway. I think he's 24 or 25 now. If it wasn't going to happen this year, it was never going to happen for him. I wanted to see him in the bullpen anyway because I think his stuff just kind of plays better in the bullpen because he will have a few clean innings and pitch really well and then just kind of have these innings where he just blows up and everything goes wrong. That's what we saw a lot in Jupiter last year. So I'm excited to see him, first of all, just because it's always exciting to see Marlins prospects in general. But I definitely think seeing Holloway is exciting because he'll get to be in the bullpen, which I think he can be a really good reliever if everything goes well. And it's just another guy that we get to see, and it's good for Jordan. He worked through Tommy John, and he gets to make the big jump all the way from high A ball up to the major leagues. This is a huge jump. I saw on Twitter that the only other player to ever make the jump from Jupiter to the major leagues is the late Jose Fernandez. So obviously a huge vote of confidence from the Marlins promoting Jordan Holloway. Also in the bullpen, one of the other very exciting moves that I saw from the Marlins today, our boy Nick Neidert will be in the bullpen. We saw him pitch in Atlanta. He looked good. I've compared him to Kyle Hendricks, the way that he kind of works with stuff that's not as hard. He throws a little harder than Hendricks, but he still uses the good movement and deception, changes speeds, changes eye levels to get guys out. So even though he doesn't have the hardest or best stuff, he can still locate very well and has good breaking stuff. So I'm really excited to see Neidert because I think we could see him in the rotation. Like if Eliezer, who got the 5th starting spot, starts to struggle towards the beginning of the year and Neidert is good out of the pen, I think all of a sudden you flip those two guys and Neidert's in the rotation, which I think we all expect him to be a back rotation starter for the Marlins. All of a sudden, one of your top prospects, a top 10 prospect, is in the rotation. So that's very, very exciting to have Nick Neidert in the bullpen. Hopefully we'll see some Sixto this year. I'm not too sure about that. He's down in Jupiter, although he does look slimmer since returning to summer camp, so that's very exciting. But that's something that's down the road. In other news, on the other side of the coin is Adam Conley is still on the roster, and this is something that I kind of have a problem with. I'm not going to try and go off and yell and scream because I would feel bad. But I just don't believe Conley has a place on the roster anymore. I understand he's a lefty out of the pen, but lefty specialists have kind of gone away because of the 3 batter minimum rule now. So you don't really need lefty specialists anymore, and Conley's just not that good. We saw in the first scrimmage against the Braves that what kind of destruction he can cause. The Marlins had an 8-1 lead in the 8th inning, and Conley gave up most of that lead. I think 4 of the runs, were charged to him. The other 4 were charged to, I can't remember who pitched before him, but the player that pitched before him, and but Conley let most of them up. And he just doesn't have the stuff anymore. He just can't get it done, and he's just dirty laundry left over from the Loria era that I don't think we need to carry into this new era. When he was good a couple years ago and had some trade value, I was a big proponent of trading him for this exact reason. Relievers are volatile, and when you're a rebuilding team and you can get value for relievers, you trade them. And we missed with Kyle Bearclaw. I mean, we ended up getting money for Bearclaw, but we missed the opportunity to get a good prospect for him. We missed it with Steckenrider, even though he's still productive. He's going to be on the DL, actually, so he won't be on the roster right away, but he'll be back. And we missed now with Conley, and Conley is a huge miss. And the more frustrating part is we talked about Monte Harrison the other night. Monte Harrison has been left off the roster. Jesus Sanchez, who hit a bomb in the game where Conley blew up, he hit a tank. That thing went halfway up the chop house at Truist or SunTrust or whatever, Turner Field too, up in Atlanta. And both of those guys have not made the roster, but Adam Conley has. The Marlins are carrying 12 relievers, 11 of which are new to the organization. It's time for Conley to go. I think it's time for the Marlins, just to pick up, brush themselves off, and move on from the Adam Conley era. Hopefully, when Steck returns, maybe they'll make a move and move on from Conley, or when Monte is eligible after the service time period, hopefully that's they make the move for Monte, and that's a guy that could be on the chopping block. I'm sure the Marlins will have their eye on Conley, no doubt about it, especially after what happened in Atlanta the other night. I feel he's the guy on the chopping block right now. But nonetheless, it's certainly, to me, it's frustrating because I want to see our guys. I want to see Jesus. I want to see Monte. I want to see, the others. So all in all, the Marlins, not too many other surprises. They carry the 4 outfielders of VR, Harold Ramirez, Magneuris Sierra, and Corey Dickerson, who I'm really excited to see. Alfaro, apparently there's rumors that the Marlins will be working on a BA extension an extension for Brian Anderson this winter. So it's an exciting time for the Marlins. Hopefully we get baseball. We'll keep an eye on what's happening up in Washington right now, up with New York right now, and then obviously with the Phillies, who the Marlins play tomorrow. So baseball is back, hopefully, and we'll see how it all works out. The Marlins play at 7 p.m. against the Phillies tomorrow night to get the season started.